Welcome back to my College Football 26 Dynasty here with the TCU Horned Frogs, and today we're jumping into the college football playoffs as we take on the UNLV Rebels here in round 1. Here is what the entire first round of this year's playoffs will look like. Obviously, we're at home in Ammon G. Carter Stadium to take on the Rebels, and you can see the matchups around the rest of the country. Before we started this season, I don't really know if this is where I expected this TCU team to be at the end of the first season of this dynasty, but I am incredibly proud that this team is here, so let's jump into the game. And it would appear the Rebels got the ball first and were able to drive downfield and score. So we come out down 7-0, and we're going to hand off to Jeremy Payne, who's going to get a gain of 2 to start this play. I said start this play. I definitely meant start this drive. It's going to be a great day here for commentary. Hand off to Payne again, who goes to the outside, cuts back up, and we'll set up a 3rd and 3 for our offense. Payne is going to stay in the game here at running back. We'll take the snap, and it's going to be an RPO that's caught by Manjack for the easy first down. That sets us up now at the 43-yard line for the next play. We'll come out and run a screen to the outside that's caught by Payne, and the blocking never really picked up, and we only get a 4-yard play. I was just kind of waiting for that lineman to go block that guy. It never happened. But now on 2nd and 6, we'll drop back. We're going to go to our tight end, caught by Pimpton. Never mind, couldn't hold on through the hit in the rain. So just like that, we now face a 3rd and 6. We'll take the snap, and we're going to try to lob this one to the outside, but not get rid of it in time, and we'll have to punt it away. But as we get the ball back for our next drive, it's still a 7-0 game, so our defense was able to force a punt or at least a turnover on downs, and we're going to come out and start this drive with a loss of 1. That is now going to set up a 2nd and 11. Hoover will take the snap. We'll drop back to pass and try to get rid of it by getting hit as he throws. We'll bring up a 3rd and 11. Not really the starter offense had in mind. Hoover out of shotgun. We'll drop back to pass again. We're going to fire this one over the middle. That's a jumping reception caught by Manjack to keep this drive moving down to the 38-yard line. Now we will come out in a 5-wide set. Hoover will take the snap and looking to go downfield again. Not seeing anyone come open, but we're finally going to launch it for Manjack, who will not make the catch. Would have obviously been a massive play for this offense. We'll come out and give it to Payne on the next one and not find any space. That's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Nearing the end of the very first quarter here, out of a pistol set, we'll drop back and look to pass. We're going to throw this downfield to our tight end, and it's knocked away from Pimpton, and we'll have to punt it away to end the first quarter. We come out here in the second quarter now, and we are down 14-0, so our offense really needs to wake up, and that's not going to happen on this play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. We'll come out and try the screen to the outside. That'll be caught by Payne, who gets one block to the outside, but can't pick up another one, only gets a gain of 1. That will now set up a 3rd and 9 for us. Out of a 5-wide set, we'll drop back and look to pass. We're going to try to get rid of this one, hit as we're throwing, trying to go downfield, and we'll have to punt this one away. All right, our defense got us the ball back. It's still 14-0. We're going to come out and try to throw the ball here. Drop back, and we're going to go downfield for Dwyer, who will not make the catch. It gets intercepted. I tried to force that in between the safety and the corner, and now UNLV will take over at the 31-yard line. We have just completely fallen apart today, now down 17-0. We'll come out and try to throw the ball here. We're going to go downfield, and he's going to miss the running back who stopped running and get picked off again. We are now staring down a 24-0 deficit here in the first round of the playoffs. Not at all how we wanted this game to go. We're going to go to McAllister over the middle, and that'll be a gain of 9. Just about 4 minutes to go here in the first half. We're going to come out and hand this ball off to Payne, who goes to the outside, but can't use his speed to get to the edge, and now it's a 3rd and 5. UNLV has just completely shut down our offense today so far. See if we can convert on this 3rd down, and we'll find Manjack all the way to the 45. Now under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Hoover comes out in shotgun. We'll draw back to pass again. We're going to fire this one to Manjack, who will make the catch for a gain of about 8. Officially, it was actually ruled a 7-yard play, so it's a 2nd and 3. Hoover comes out in shotgun, and we're going to look to go downfield. We'll finally let this one go to Manjack down the sideline, and that is incomplete. We just need to convert this 3rd down and try to keep the drive moving. From the 49-yard line, hand off to Payne, who will go up the middle and get the 1st down. Hoover now back in a shotgun set again. From the 44-yard line, we'll drop back, and a quick throw will be caught by Manjack, who will get the 1st down and get all the way to the 25. Just try to keep the momentum going on this drive, guys. Back in a shotgun set, we'll take the snap. It'll be a screen to the outside, caught by Payne. And Payne this time gets to the edge, has the 1st down, tries to spin out a defender, breaks a tackle, and is brought down to 12. On the next play, we'll come out in a pistol set and go right back to Payne, who goes to the outside, and this time he'll pick up a gain of a few yards. It sets up a 2nd and 5, and UNLV has burned their first time out. From about the 7-yard line here, we'll take the snap. And it will be the RPO to the outside, caught by James, and Braylon James into the end zone. TCU finally gets points on the board today. We also end up getting the ball to start the second half, so down by 17. We begin at our own 25-yard line. And we're going deep on the first play because Dwyer beat his man off the line, but Hoover can't hit him. That was definitely the play we needed to start this half. Now a 2nd and 10. We'll drop back. We'll throw it underneath. That's a jumping catch by Manjack, who will have to fight for the first down to the 40-yard line. On the very next play, back in his shotgun set, we'll take the snap and look to pass again. We're going to try to force this one to Dwyer, and that falls incomplete. Very much should have been intercepted. Not a great sign that I feel like I'm getting desperate trying to throw the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 40. We're going to hand this one to Barnes, who goes to the outside and makes it a 3rd and 6. From the 45-yard line, back in a 5-wide set, we'll take the snap and look to pass. We'll throw this one to Manjack, and he can't make the catch, and now it's a 4th down. But with our current situation, we are just going to go for it here. From the 45-yard line, we'll drop back to pass. We're going to try to go to Manjack again, who will make the catch but not be able to get the first down, and it's a turnover on downs. Thankfully, though, our defense keeps it a 17-point game. We'll come out to start the next drive, and we're going to go deep to start it as James has beaten his man off the line but can't come down with it. Now a 2nd and 10. Hoover back in shotgun again. We'll drop back and look to pass. Throw this one underneath. That's caught by Dwyer and makes it a 3rd and 7. From the 31-yard line, back in a shotgun set, they're bringing a blitz. We're going to go to Manjack, who will make the catch and hold on to it through the hit for the first down. We'll line up in a shotgun set again, take the snap, hand off to Payne, and not finding any lanes opening up, and we'll lose 4. That now brings up a 2nd and 14, and we are sending everybody deep, and Dwyer may have a step on his man. We're going to let it go deep downfield, and he will not make the catch. And it now sets up a 3rd and 14 from the 37-yard line. We'll drop back. We're going to go to Manjack over the middle, who will make the catch for the first down, brought down to the 41-yard line, and UNLV has an injury. 1st and 10, back in a shotgun set again. We'll run the play action. Now we're going to throw the ball downfield. We're going to Manjack again, who has dropped it a couple times, but other than that has been an amazing target for us today, all the way down to the 14-yard line. That'll give us a new set of downs here. We come out in a shotgun set, looking to go downfield. We'll dump this one off to our running back, and Payne will make the catch for a 4-yard play. From about the 10-yard line, Hoover will drop back and look to pass. We're going to throw it to Payne again, who has to make a jumping reception, and it results in a 3rd and inches. On the next play, Payne is still lined up in the backfield. We'll take the snap, but we're going to run the RPO to the outside, caught by Manjack, who gets the first down and sets up a 1st and goal. We are desperately trying to find the end zone here. We'll take the snap, hand off to Payne, who will get into the end zone, and we make it a 10-point game. And then, thankfully, our defense was able to keep it a 10-point game. We come out with 54 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And now Dwyer has once again beat his man deep. Can we get him the ball? No, we can't. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Hoover takes the snap and looks to pass. Now McAllister has beat his man off the line, and it's going to be underthrown and intercepted. Just a horrible day for Hoover so far. On our next drive, it's still just a 10-point game, but we're beginning at our own 2-yard line. Hand off to Payne, and we'll get out of some danger as he'll juke his way forward to about the 10. This game might legitimately be the best anyone has contained Jeremy Payne all season. Now we'll throw a screen to him on the outside, but they're not going to contain him on this play as he gets all the way to about the 30. And Barnes is now checked in at running back on the next play, but we're going to run another screen to him on the outside. He gets one hell of a block, looking for some more, and ends up with the first down, fights a man all the way to the 45. Jeremy Payne is now checked back into the game again. Hoover will take the snap. We're going to dump this one off to Payne. It's not a screen, but he does have some space on the outside, trying to make a man miss, and gets brought down near the 40. Hoover back in his shotgun set again. We'll take the snap, and we'll look to pass. We're once again going to go deep for Dwyer. Can he finally hit him? No, he can't. Now it's a 2nd and 10. Hoover will drop back, and we're going to fire this one to our guy on the outside, but he misses James that time and sets up a 3rd down. From the 41-yard line, he'll come out in a 5-wide set, drop back to pass. We're going to go over the middle and nearly get intercepted again, trying to force that one in. With 8:52 to go, we are going to go for it. Trying to convert and stay alive in this game. Hoover will take the snap. And it looks like they're bringing a blitz. We're going downfield, but he misses a wide-open receiver that time, and it's a turnover on downs. And our defense has once again kept us in this game. It's still a 10-point game with 7:07 to go, but once again from our own 2-yard line, we'll give it to Payne up the middle, and he'll fight to the 8. Now a 2nd and 4. Hoover will take the snap and look to pass. We're going to fire to Manjack, but he misses the receiver. What is going on with our quarterback today? 3rd and 4. Hoover back in shotgun. We'll draw back to pass. Rolling to the outside. We're just going to take off for this quick and easy first down across the 20, and he will slide down to the 25. Under 6 minutes to play here in the first round of the playoffs. We'll drop back and look to pass. Throwing this one underneath and nearly misses his receiver again and actually gets Manjack hit pretty hard. It's kind of starting to feel like screens are the only way Hoover's been consistent today, and we're going to go back to it here, but there is a flag. It may be an eligible man downfield, as Payne will make this a massive play and get forced out, but I have a bad feeling it's coming back, and I think it is. They actually don't call an eligible receiver downfield. They call a holding penalty, so it's a 2nd and 20. We're going to go to Barnes on the outside, who does get one block. Gets to the edge, we'll cut back in, try to juke back to the outside and get brought down to set up a 3rd and 5 at about the 31. We really need to keep this drive moving. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to fire downfield for Pimpton, who will make the catch to the 45. The clock is still running, down to about 4 minutes to play here. Hoover will take the snap, and we're going to fire this one downfield, but I think he overthrows it again. He has not been this bad all season. This feels like a massive anomaly today. 2nd and 10. Dwyer beat his man off the line. Can we get it downfield? He underthrows it. I know I keep throwing them, but I just keep waiting for our quarterback to wake back up. But now a 3rd and 10. We'll drop back to pass. We're going to go to Pimpton on the outside. No, we're not. 4:05 remaining. From the 45-yard line, we need to convert on this play. We'll go downfield to Dwyer, who will make the catch, break that tackle, spin to the outside, break another one, and get brought down to the 34. We needed our quarterback to come up big, and he did there. On the next play, we'll drop back to pass again. Roll to the outside. We're going to throw this one to Pimpton, our tight end, who makes the catch, is inside the 15, and fights his way down to the 12. Looks like Payne is still lined up in the backfield, but Hoover will look to pass again. We're actually going to dump this one off to Jeremy Payne on the outside, and there's 4 defenders there. He spins out most of them and is brought down at the 3. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 1, and Barnes is checked into the game here at running back. We'll give it to Barnes, who goes to the outside. The blocking doesn't set up, and now we'll have a 3rd and 5. From the 7-yard line here, Hoover will take the snap, and a quick throw to the end zone is caught by Pimpton, and it would be a 1st down, but there's a flag down, and I think they're going to call holding on TCU yet again. That will move us back to face a 3rd and 15. Hoover drops back to pass. We're going to launch this downfield for Manjack, who will make the catch, and it sets up a 4th and 1. But we are going to come out and go for this. Hoover will take the snap. We'll throw this one to Payne on the outside, who makes the catch. Never mind, he drops it. I understand we could have kicked a field goal, but we were 1 yard away. I figured we could get it, but Payne doesn't make the catch, and it's a handoff to the back, who breaks the tackle, and we get him in the backfield, I believe. We will burn our first timeout here. 1:27 remaining. We have 2 timeouts remaining. 1:27 left. He'll look to pass. Step up in the pocket. Can we please get a sack? He's going to take off to the outside and get the 1st down. And that is how season 1 of this dynasty will end, because we had a really bad day on offense. Our quarterback was missing a lot of throws. I don't know if it was just an injury of some sort. He didn't show a lot of wear and tear going on, or if it was a lot to do with the rain, but there were several just missed passes and missed opportunities, and you're not going to win a lot of playoff games in any situation when you miss that many chances. Here is hoping this was not Josh Hoover's final game at TCU, but he is a pretty highly rated quarterback, so he may bounce to the NFL. He finishes 28 of 54 for 340 yards, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. And then on the ground, Jeremy Payne only got 12 carries for 24 yards, did find the end zone once. And then receiving, Manjack got 12 catches for 163 yards. He played amazing today. And Dwyer and McAllister probably should have had more, but our quarterback was just not really on it today. Braylon James did come away with a touchdown, though, off an RPO. Let's just move on to how the rest of the playoff bracket played out. And Texas A&M takes down Boise State 51-17. Georgia beats Duke 41-34. Obviously, we know about our game. And Ohio State takes down Texas Tech 21-20. So you can see the matchup for the quarterfinal round. And immediately jumping past that round, you see that Clemson defeats Texas Tech, Miami takes down Georgia, Oklahoma takes down UNLV, and Ohio State beats Illinois. So your semifinal is between Clemson and Miami, and OU and Ohio State. The coaching carousel in this game can be absolutely wild, though. As you can see, Sark has left Texas for Michigan. It doesn't look like he was fired from Texas. He just straight up left. And then Joey McGuire from Texas Tech is now the Texas head coach. So I don't know how good Texas Tech is going to be next season. I know they're generally pretty good in simulation, but I guess we'll have to find that one out. In the round of the semifinals, Miami took down Clemson 38-23, and Oklahoma falls to Ohio State 34-24. So your national championship is between Miami and Ohio State. And something really interesting about that matchup is the national championship is in Miami, so it will not be a neutral site for Ohio State. But ultimately, that does not matter for Ohio State because they come out with a win 37-35. And it looks like Jeremiah Smith broke a major record, getting 2,435 receiving yards on the season. And then over here, you can see that Julian Sayin, if I said his name properly, threw for 6,100 yards. Something's a little broken in simulation in this game. But checking out our season stats, it looks like Hoover finishes with a 65% completion percentage, 4,800 yards passing, 36 touchdowns, but unfortunately 16 interceptions, and most of those were my fault, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Running the ball, Jeremy Payne ran for 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. And then receiving, Joseph Manjack goes over 1,000 yards, barely beating Eric McAllister, who went for 1,069. But McAllister also came out with 12 touchdowns, which led the team. Jeremy Payne caught 9, Dwyer caught 6, Pimpton caught 3, Braylon James caught 1. Apparently that one in the playoffs was his only one of the season. And Joseph Manjack came away with 5, in case I did not mention that. Now, like I stated at the start of the series, we are an offensive coach because I've decided to make the coach Andy Dalton, so we don't really look at defensive stats a whole lot, but I will take a look at them at the end of the season. You can see who led our team in tackles. In sacks, that goes to Devon or Devon Deal. I don't know how to say his name, I'm not going to lie. But Deal gets the most sacks with 7. It looks like the other Deal, who I'm going to assume they're brothers because they came from the same exact town. I mean, I could be completely wrong there, but the same last name, both play defensive line. They're both from El Paso. I could probably just look it up, but I'm not going to. And then interceptions, Jamel Johnson got 2, Austin Jordan got 2, and then Elijah Jackson got 1 along with Kylan Jackson. And all right, they don't appear to be brothers, so I'm just going to assume that since one is from Louisiana and one's from California, they are definitely not brothers. Let's now take a look at these season stats, though. And yeah, Sayin throwing for 6,100 yards is absolutely insane. Touchdowns, he also threw for 55, leading the country. Carson Beck threw for 47 and only 2 interceptions. And I believe the one season he's going to have at Miami. Interceptions, we at least did not lead the country in that. There were 2 guys that threw more than us, so you got to like to see that at least. I'll be honest, I don't really know how our running back won the Doak Walker Award because I see a lot of better running back stats. The running back at Texas A&M, Le'Veon Moss, ran for 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns. And then George Pettaway at James Madison ran for 1,622 touchdowns. LJ Martin at BYU ran for 20 scores. Yeah, I don't really see how our guy won the Doak Walker Award because there were multiple running backs that put up better numbers. I feel like that's just kind of part of the problem with this game right now. Maybe it's also my receiving stats because he did catch 9 touchdowns as well. So I guess that could be a major contributor to that. Moving on to the national receiving stats, though, Jeremiah Smith finishes with 2,400 yards and 21 touchdowns. Zachariah Branch ends up with 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns. And then Kevin Concepcion? Sure, I don't know how to say her name. 1,400 yards and 10 scores. Most receiving touchdowns does go to Jeremiah Smith. But Frederick Moore at Michigan came away with 18, and Tyler Brown at Clemson also came away with 18. Like I said, we're not going to take a look at a lot of defensive stats throughout the season, but I will look at them at the end of the year. And leading the nation in tackles is Red Murdoch at Buffalo and Mac Harris at USF, I believe. And then sacks, David Bailey for Texas Tech came away with 21 on the season. And then Stanquan Clark came away with 12 at Louisville, and Rasheem Biles came away with 10. Interceptions, Noah Bigelow came away with 7 on the year, leading the country, and then a few guys came away with 6. I am not super proud of our kicking stats this year, as Lemmerman finished with a really bad accuracy rating of 77%. I was not very good at field goals this year. He did miss 3 extra points, and I don't really control those, but you can see we missed 6 field goals. 4 of them were from inside 30 yards because I'm absolutely abysmal at those. Just in case you didn't see it in the last episode, Jeremiah Smith is who came away with the Heisman Trophy. But now let's take a look at the award winners. The Maxwell goes to Jeremiah Smith. The Walter Camp goes to Jeremiah Smith. The Bear Bryant Coach of the Year Award goes to Spencer Danielson at Boise State. The Davey O'Brien goes to Cade Klubnik. The Chuck Bednarik Award goes to David Bailey. The Bronco Nagurski Trophy goes to David Bailey as well. And then the Jim Thorpe Award goes to Jordan Scruggs, a defensive back at West Virginia. The Doak Walker went to us. Once again, don't really see how, because you can see 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. You scroll down one spot. This guy had 1,600 yards and 22 touchdowns. I mean, granted, our guy also had a ton of receptions, 68 catches for 800 yards and 9 touchdowns. So I'm thinking that's where it kind of like set the difference. The Bolitnikov goes to Jeremiah Smith. The Lombardi goes to David Bailey. The Unitas Golden Arm Award goes to Cade Klubnik. The Edge Rusher of the Year goes to David Bailey. The Outland Trophy goes to the center at Florida. The John Mackey Award goes to the tight end at Illinois. The Broyles Award goes to the defensive coordinator at Liberty. The Butkus Award goes to the middle linebacker at San Diego State. The Remington goes to the center at Florida. The Groza Award goes to the kicker at North Carolina State. And the Ray Guy Award goes to the punter at Pittsburgh. We do have a returner of the year in Jackson Lavender at SMU. And that is all of the awards. Now, I am sorry that this playoff run ended in the first round for us, but I did not expect to make a deep playoff run in Season 1 of this dynasty. We will try to change the team quite a bit and load up to go on a run next season, especially if we can get Josh Hoover back. But we will find out if we get that man back in the next episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you next time.